Happy Wednesday. I love grooving with you to start us off. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to The Vision is Possible. It's always possible. And a groovy little tune called Swindler's Paradise. Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to The Vision is Possible. I'm so glad to have you all here. Before I go any further, this has been a tough week. This has been a tough week. But folks in Minnesota are standing strong. And I have to, before I introduce my fantastic guest, before I go any further, I just have to tell you guys how heavy it's been in my heart and in my soul this week. And I know it has been for all of you too. Hello there, Facebook. Hello there, Instagram. Hello there, YouTube. I want us to just acknowledge for a moment for Renee Good. She gave her life for the cause. For Alex Preddy, he gave his life for the cause. Believe what your eyes are seeing and telling you. Don't listen to the bullshit. Believe in that. And believe in the hope of America, because look how people are coming out in freezing temperatures. Look at what's online. Look at what's being said, what's being done in other cities, in other countries. So we are not alone. After November, I will tell you honestly, my heart sank after the election. And then I was reminded about a conversation. Sometimes we've got to go through some funky things in order for us to move forward. Sometimes we have to go through some shit in order for the flowers to bloom. So if that's what we've got to go through, because that is what is being delivered to us now, and we are all in this together, then let's all stay strong and know that we can turn this around. Because look at those Minnesotans. Look at what they're doing. Look at what happened in Chicago. Look at what happened in LA. Look at how people are learning how to stand up and how to fight peacefully and with pain, because we lost these two beautiful people. And there are so many others who are being taken right now who do not deserve that. So I'm going to keep the faith and know that this is a new day of something we have to go through in order to right the ship so that it is better than what it was before, than what my parents fought for. This is my interviewee. She's coming on. There she is. Okay, just stay there for me. Can you hear me? Wave at me. Can you hear me? Good. Just stay there for me, Miss Leah. Let me tell you, we've been having technical difficulties. So that's what I want to say. I got to put it out there because I got to clear the air. I want to acknowledge the hard struggles that we are going through, the love that is out there, and to also to support everyone who is giving food, who is walking children to school and walking them home, who are blowing the whistles so that people know that ICE is nearby. So let's stay vigilant. Kerry Washington, if you guys haven't seen it, look for Kerry Washington on Instagram and listen to what Kerry Washington is saying about calling your senators and telling them. You'll probably leave a message, but everything is cataloged so that you can tell them about how you are feeling about this situation. And what I like also about what Kerry is doing is that she's also giving us tools and words. So you don't have to give a whole bunch of information. It can be very succinct. I'm glad you all are here. So, I got to give my little spiel. YouTube, not YouTube, but Instagram. I can't wave at you guys because I've got my camera here and you're right on this side. And I don't want to keep moving back to wave at people, but no, I love you. I'm waving at you in my heart to tell you I'm so happy that you are here. With me today. Facebook, I know you guys are leaving comments and I haven't been able to see it. I'm working it out where I can turn my other computer on and I can see what is going on. So I'm working on it. Instagram, I'm also working so I can see your comments because I can see all of you over here. Hello, family on the YouTube, because I can see all of you on YouTube on my eCam Live. So I'm glad you all are here. I've got a fantastic guest. Okay. I knew she was fantastic. But then when she sent me her bio, and then when I looked at her videos, and then when I read more about her, she is a dynamo. So I thought that Leah McGowen-Hare would be a great first guest because she is she is an AI wizard, meaning she can explain so much to that about us. She can explain so much to us about technology because it's here, y'all. Okay, so yes, all I do is deal with ChatGPT, and I swear I will change my ways and grow myself. But I wanted her to be here so she can inform us in a way that's palpable so we're not in fear because we've got to face the future together. This is what she says. Leah, this is what it said about Leah. Leah's career is grounded in a single purpose: to make technology human, empowering people everywhere to learn, lead, and build the future together. Now, you well know how I like to bring my folks in. You know I like to create a video and introduce you to my guests, so I'm not just reading or reciting bios. But Leah sent me a video, and it was so good. Why should I mess with that or anything else? So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the fabulous and incredible Leah McGowen-Hare.
You guys ready to geek out?
We are here! We are here! What?
Yeah!
Let's do it! Let's do it!
You are amazing.
Please give a Dreamforce welcome to Leah McGowen-Hare. Leah!
To be here, and somehow I got a bear in my booth.
You look beautiful. You sound great.
I'm trying to keep it cool. There's an urban myth that you were discovered by a FedEx delivery man.
It sounds totally bizarre and completely made up, but it is true.
Oh, a huge thank you to that FedEx man. How long did it take to transform this from a street into this amazing park?
You wouldn't believe it, but just 7 days ago, there were cars up and down this block.
Shut
right
the
here.
front door. Once that block has been added to the blockchain, it's immutable. It cannot be changed. It would be like trying to take a chicken nugget and turn it back into a chicken. It's not gonna happen, okay? Artificial intelligence is not a moment. This is a movement. It is changing how we move through our lives.
You know, we can have this whole idea that technology is so cryptic, so hard, and you gotta have like your masters in computer science, and that's not true. I always say just take the first step, whatever that is.
I fully, and heartfully say thank you. There's something so powerful about community and uplifting and bringing folks together. Now I need you to do a power pose. Yes! Yes!
It is a new Guinness World Records title.
Oh, does it have to end?
Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys. Now we had technical, isn't this perfect? I've got Leah here and we had technical difficulties earlier, but guess what? We can fix anything. Hi, darling. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm so wonderful. I'm so glad to see you and to have you here with
Thank you
me.
for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, before we get into AI, before we get into any of that, would you please tell us where you from? How you got here? What's going on?
What's your name? Who you be? What you
That's
going
right.
on? Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. My name is Leah McGowen-Hare. I am initially from the East Coast, from New England. I went to undergrad UMass Amherst. Lived in New York City for over 10 years, where I worked as a consultant for a company called Anderson Consulting, now known as Accenture. Then I moved out to the West. I transferred from the New York office to San Francisco, and I continued to work with Anderson, and then I moved over and started working for PeopleSoft, which then got acquired by Oracle. I then left and I went to grad school and I got my master's in education and technology. And then I had my own company for a little bit while getting my master's. I quickly learned I am more of a W-2 kind of gal than a 1099. But I then joined Salesforce and I've been here this year will be 17 years.
Oh, wow. How incredible. How incredible. And you're married and you've got beautiful,
Oh yeah, my
beautiful
personal life, that's a whole nother
family.
road. Yes, I have a wonderful husband. I have 4 kids. I have a bonus son who just turned 32. I have my oldest who is 26, and then I have twins that are 17.
Okay, now, that this is what you call a woman who's married, got kids, and she's still badass in her work. That's right, baby. That's right. So, ladies, do not think that you can't make it all happen. It is not easy. It's work, isn't it?
It is work, and I was raised like in the 80s where it was like you could have. Remember that commercial? I can bring home the bacon,
Chicken fried up in the
fried up in a
pan.
pan, and never ever let you forget your old man. Like I was brought up in that age that you could have it all,
That's
but
right.
we were sold a lie. Because you can have it all, but not all at the same time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to give more over here and less over there and less over there and more over here. So it was this falsehood that you could have it all at the same time. And that's not the case. We can have careers, we can have relationships, we can have children. It just takes, sometimes you're pouring more energy into one than the other. And then at the same time, you can't lose sight of pouring energy into yourself.
Oh, you know what? That's a big thing for us women because so many times we put ourselves to the side. And I call it, I got a plate, but now I got to have a platter. So I got to put more. Otherwise, I saw my mother lose herself. My mother, I tell the story. My mother, I was in the kitchen. I think I must have been about 13, 14 years old. And we had this big house in Truesdale Estates in Beverly Hills. And my mom is washing some dishes. She's telling me about independence. She wants me to live with the man who I'm going to marry. Where I was like, wow, I couldn't believe that. That was so forward thinking. And she wanted me to travel and she wanted me to do this and this. And over the intercom, my dad says, Lee, can you make a sandwich for me? She stops what she's doing. Bam, bam, bam. She puts the sandwich together real fast. She runs, drops it off at my dad. This whole time I'm going, wait a minute. What happened to this? Telling me I could. Because
she wanted you to live the space that she couldn't, right?
That's right. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. And I feel that in my life, that the decisions that I make, I remember I can't stop.
Mm.
And
I
you
want
have a
to
good
stop cancer.
you can't stop, yeah, and you have a good partner. You've got to work that out with them, don't you?
Yeah, you do. And communication. I have a partner who understands the value I add at work, the value I add at home, who's very understanding and who's very encouraging of that. So that's really important too, because I mean, I can't say it would have been really difficult trying to do it without my partner,
Hmm.
without my husband. Yes,
Yeah, and your
for sure.
children are just amazing. You've got them traveling the world, and
They got more stamps in their passport than me. I'm like, hold on,
that's great
hold
because
on.
you are raising children who are going to be very important to what we need in this world.
Yes, yes. A higher level of consciousness is what's needed in this world, and
Yes.
understanding. Yeah. So I'm hoping, trying to plant seeds that will, blossom into amazing human beings that will then live out their purpose of doing good in the world is my goal.
What do you think about when you are given these, when you're told no, when
Mm.
you are, when you feel like your project didn't go forward? Do you feel like, what would you say to someone who, when they get those no's?
I mean, it's all part of it. I've received no's, and sometimes I get so fixated that I'm like, I'm gonna figure out a way to make this happen. Like, and those a lot of my youth, like, I'm gonna make this happen. I don't care what they said. When I should have really stepped back sometime and been like, it's the universe, because often they say rejection is God's protection,
Yes,
right?
honey.
But I'm like, being hard headed. I'm like, I'm gonna make it work, and then it finally gets around, and it's not what you thought it was going to be. And all that energy that I spent on trying to make something come forth that wasn't necessarily meant for me, I could have taken that energy and been more aligned with things that were coming to me that I was not paying attention to.
Oh, say that again. Things coming to you you weren't paying attention to because
I
you
wasn't
weren't.
patient because I was too fixated on how to make that no a yes.
Hmm.
When there were yeses going on, right, that I should have been focusing on and pouring my energy into, but I felt like, no, I deserve something bigger than that.
Mm, mm,
So
mm.
I think it's that but that only comes with age and understanding, right? That,
Right.
you know, hold on. One recently, even recently, but I've learned. So I was going out for a certain role and I was like, I really want this role. I even wrote up what the role is. I wrote what the organization could look like under my leadership. We could do this. I helped the person who was recruiting for the role, like I helped them identify it. And I was like, okay, this is it. This is how we could run the org. We could do this. We could pull it this org. We would also need this piece in it. All the things. I wrote it out, put pen to paper, boom, gave it to them. They're like, great. And then I was like, okay, I hadn't heard anything. And I was like, doo, 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 doo. Haven't heard anything. So then I was like, hey, what's happening? I'm interested in the role. Oh, we would really like you to help us interview folks. I was like, but what about me? So then I was like, okay, Leah, clearly they don't want you in this role, but they didn't say no to the work that I did to give them the outlining of the role. So I had to put my ego aside and I said, help me understand why I was not considered for the
Mm,
role.
mm, mm,
And I
mm,
had to be in a space to be able to receive whatever they were going to say,
mhm.
right? And they said, well, I kind of was interviewing you, you just didn't know it. Okay. And they were just going, it was like, but I walked away from it learning I don't want to be in a role where they don't want me in it.
Come on now. Come on now. Yes.
Because I'm a little too old now that I'm not going to be, I want to be set up for success. I don't
Hmm.
want to push myself into something and then they really didn't want me there. And then all they're going to be looking for is how I'm failing in the role. But fast forward, a role came to me that I wasn't even looking for. And I had to tell them to slow down. I'm coming, but I got to let my current role know that I'm leaving, and they don't know yet. So they created a whole role for me because they wanted me as part of their team. But had I gotten so fixated on that no, spent all my energy on trying to sell them on me and why I'm the best one and blah, 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 and I would have never been open to receiving this other yes that was coming my way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But how do you know when to let go?
For me, it's more of a feeling like, and like I said, it just comes with age for me. Like at this point, I know, like, okay, I'm not trying to be in, like, some people are like, no, you got to push, you got to fight. I'm not doing all that. I know the worth I bring. I know the value I bring. And I'm not in the stage of trying to constantly sell myself to people. My work speaks for itself. My reputation, we can have interviews, we can have conversation. But if I have to be, trying to force you to receive me, that's not the place I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying everything is just like you float in and everything is always. I have built my career over time, so I'm at a space where I can do that. Now, probably back in my 20s or something, I might have kicked in the door and be like, "Hey, you gotta pay attention to me." But at this point in my career, it's just a different space.
Yeah. I so agree with you. And about sometimes when something doesn't come through, that is your protection because
Yeah, rejection is your protection.
you don't know how it's going to work out. A girlfriend of mine recently, y'all, last year, she was in a project and the project did great and it's wonderful and it was on its way to the pinnacle of where it could be and she was going to ride that wave and she got a call that said sorry, we're going to choose someone else. And she was devastated. And I rode those emotions with her, but I told her, baby, I'm telling you, there's something else coming.
There's always something coming.
And something else much better came, something she
Yeah.
really wanted. If she had pushed herself to be in that project, she never would have been available to do something that's going to give her her retirement. And I agree with you. It is age, and also just knowing that we are perfect as we are, even in the things we don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
Because that's what life is. Life is about growing. I used the example earlier. You got to put some fertilizer on the ground in order for that pretty flower to grow.
That's right.
Right? And sometimes that's what we have to go through and trusting ourselves. um I wouldn't say there are men that I loved and I wished I could have been with long. I'm so glad I'm not with those men. I cannot even. I'm so glad they broke up with me or I broke up with them. I'm so happy
Right.
because we grow from all those experiences. Don't you find they're great
Absolutely.
seeds for us?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Miss Leah, I can't even get it out right. AI has scared
AI.
me. As an actor, as a writer, as in the entertainment business, it has scared us. We struck for certain things. People told me in writing to go to Chat GPT. I ignored it. Now that I've learned about Chat GPT, oh my God, that's my best friend. My girlfriend calls it Max. She says, I'm talking to Max. Don't bother me right now.
I call it
People,
Grace Paula Thompson. Grace Paula Thompson, GPT.
GPT.
Grace Paula Thompson. I got to talk to Grace Paula Thompson.
Grace Paula Thompson. And it's so much more. Can you help us with this? And what you mean, and including what you mean by technology human?
I I have watched the evolution of technology throughout my career, starting with I started coding in mainframe, COBOL mainframe, just our old school terminals. Like you just had you had a black terminal with green letters or orange letters. It wasn't fancy, nothing. I watched enterprise move from mainframe to client server, where it was on premises, where you had all your servers on your on-prem, but you had a web server, an app server, and a database server, and you could get more creative. Like you could have colorful UIs and interacting with the data. And now the users could have different fields that they put information in. And I watched it then evolve into cloud computing. And the evolution just continuing and continuing. I've had to learn through each of those huge shifts of technology to stay relevant. I couldn't stay in mainframe coding. I mean, granted, there's probably a lot that's still out there, but
What is
the move
mainframe? What is mainframe?
mainframe is like the COBOL old mainframe computers. Like if the airlines used to still have it, banks still have it. It was big terminals. Okay, you saw Hidden Genius,
Yes.
hidden figures,
Hidden figures. I know what you
right?
meant. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
I work with a nonprofit called Hidden Genius, Hidden Figures, and they were remember they're going from the punch card at the end to this programming, these big
Ah,
terminals. That was mainframe.
gotcha.
But right there was an evolution because once upon a time there used to be a job called calculator.
Mm-hmm.
And what did that mainframe technology do? Wiped out those jobs called calculator.
Mm.
And what did those calculators with the role job they had to do? They learned how to code in COBOL so they could code the mainframes. This is not new. We've been here before. These huge shifts of technology that change the way we work, that change the way we operate. And we have to change with it or we'll get left behind. Now, granted, right now, this change is happening so fast and so massively, but we've been here before. 1993, when the internet was just coming about. Do you remember having to dial in and be like, right?
Yes.
Then you finally connect. People like this internet thing is kind of cool. They got these chat rooms but
Ah.
there was no job called web developer, SEO engineer, search engineer. Nobody knew at the time when the internet first came about, like what were the roles going to be. Nobody ever thought they would be doing their banking online. This internet was just coming about. It was interesting. We didn't quite know what to make of it, a little anxiety. And now, same thing where this AI is interesting. I can, use ChatGPT to do the things, but I don't quite know how it's going to play out. What are the new roles that are going to come because of this technology? And when, internet came up, there was Google. People are like, what's this Google thing? You got to learn the Google. We're in the same thing, different technology. But the common thread, the steel thread, is to continue to learn, to stay open, to stay curious, and continue to learn these different technologies, these different apps as they come along.
Got it. Got it. I never thought about it historically that this has happened before. It takes me back to, I don't know, there are very few people who are alive who are like, what is this tinfoil thing? What is this saran wrap thing? Those little things we forget about, those changes that happen. And I know that a lot of it right now is, it's interesting you bring out about jobs, is a lot of people being concerned about that's going to take my job.
It may.
And what you're saying is it may, but there are other jobs opening up. We just need to.
I have a number, and I don't know the full source of it because I just did a presentation at a conference this weekend, and I said 85 million jobs displaced with 97 million new jobs coming about. So there's always going to be new opportunities.
I feel like, when you say that, it makes me think about how and I'm only going to say, I feel like Americans, we get lazy and we don't want to do anything else. We don't want to learn anything else. We want it to be the way that it is. And I can't speak for any other country, but I see this a lot about why do I have to learn that? There's a comfortability that we forget that as we get comfortable, because I find in my life, the moment I get comfortable, I can be comfortable for a moment, but something else comes up for me in my life that allows me to grow and to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this sounds like.
It's absolutely that. I mean, think about when I was coming up in just banking and I had to learn how to balance a checkbook and had to learn how to, and I'll never forget when they had pay by phone come on. When you called and you would pay your bills by phone, I thought it was the most innovative thing ever. You mean I don't have to go through and write these checks, I can pay everybody by phone. I spend hours just boop, beep, bop, boop, boop, boop.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I was excited about that. Then, boom. I mean, I can't tell you the last time I've been to a bank.
I just dropped a check in. I was like, oh, I've got to put money in the bank. I'm getting ready to go out of town. How can I put money in the bank? Oh, I don't have time to get to the bank. And then I went, wait a minute. I can take a picture of that check and upload it, and it's in the
Exactly.
bank.
Exactly. So
Tied it
to
to
your
the
point, if
Wi-Fi.
we get comfortable, but things are being evolved to streamline our lives to make things even more convenient. So the question is, great, that's less time. I don't need to go to bank, sit in line, do this. But what are you going to do with that time now? Where are you going to invest that other time you just gained back?
Mm.
You're getting more time back because of some of the efficiencies of technology. So how are you going to reutilize that time to invest in yourself, invest in your family, what are you going to do with that time?
Interesting.
Unfortunately, what we're often seeing too is that we're also falling into the trap of technology, of becoming more consumers of the technology than creators of it,
Mm-hmm.
right? We need folks to really hone the skills to become creators of the technology, not just consumers,
What does that look
not
like?
just doom scrolling.
What does
What
that
does
look
that
like?
look like?
Creators.
Not spending hours doom scrolling, watching all these other content creators, watching all these other people talk about their lives. Why don't you go out there and create your own content or create your own life? Like I took Instagram off my phone because I found myself doing too much. And then I found
Scrolling.
myself so invested in these people and I don't know them. They don't know me. Right. But I'm like, girl, that's energy you could put back into working out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Picking up a physical book and reading it. Heck,
Mm-hmm.
laying in bed and watching TV. Remember when just watching a full movie was seen as being lazy?
Oh
Now
my
I'm like,
God.
it helps build your attention span. Can you sit through a whole movie now
Huh. Without doing something else, it is so
without picking
rare.
up the phone and scrolling and,
Huh.
as I call it, double screening?
Uh-huh. Interesting. Okay. Wow. All right. What is it about AI that is really going to help us in the way that you're saying? What okay, let's say me. I'm afraid of AI. What is it that it is going to do that's really going to help my life more?
I think not just you as an individual, but collectively, I
I
think
mean, collective view. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
different.
it democratizes so much. It democratizes creativity. If I am I call myself a music producer, but I don't have access to studio time or access to all these other sound beats or, I don't know much about music, so I'm making this stuff up, right? Because your husband is the musician of the year, right?
Yeah.
But I don't have access. I can literally go in to an LLM and I have access to everything that's out there on the internet to help me build something unique to me that allows me to bring my creative idea through fruition. The democratization of information and what people do with it is up to them. Perfect example, with medical information, I get some medical results back. I don't know what this thing says. I can throw it into my LLM and say, break this down to me in a way that I understand. It then gives me the information and then says, would you like me to go further and give you a one-page dietary restriction that applies to this medication? Yes. Or here's some questions you can ask your doctor. It's now democratizing access on, I now know better questions to ask my doctor.
What's an LLM?
Oh, Thank you for saying that. Large language model. So an LLM, ChatGPT is a large language model. When you
Okay.
talk to a ChatGPT, that's a large language model. Anthropic has a large language model. Claude has a large language model. Gemini is a large language models. These are the massive brains that all this data has been trained on. So when you ask ChatGPT something, that's a data model that has been built off of everything on the internet and then some. So I now have access to all of that through natural language, through conversation. So if I want to say, back to the medical thing, I wanted to get this test done through my doctors, and every time I would ask them, they were like, "No, you're too young. You got to wait till you're 60." I went to Grace Paula Thompson, GPT, and said, "Write a letter to me for me to send to my doctor to request them to schedule these tests, and here are the reasons they should give." I sent that. They gave me the email. I sent it to the doctor. Their response was, "The tests have been ordered." But
I friggin' love what you're saying, because now what you've done is, I don't have much money. I have a computer. I don't have many means, but I got ChatGPT or I've got Google, and I can find that information that someone who has more money than me seems like they automatically get it from their doctor. Oh, wow. Wow. Yes.
we have the world right at our fingertips. What are we doing with it besides making, vacation plan itineraries?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I can get so much more and better understand my health. I can better understand, potential career possibilities. I can better understand if I wanted to do a startup. This was my idea. What are some of the things I should help me write a pitch deck for it? All the things.
Mm.
And now the thing that I'm going to really start playing with is in Claude. Claude's another AI LLM, but they have this thing where you have these agents, which are evolved chatbots. Agents are non-deterministic, whereas chatbots are very deterministic, meaning they only do give you answers to basic questions, whereas agents can give you answers, take actions, do things for you. So in Claude, they have these agents that I can have building a whole app for me while I go to bed, wake up, the app can be built and it will show what were all the problems with the app and how it fixed it. I don't need a team of developers. I can build this. So if I have an idea for an app, the time from getting my idea from A to fruition, B,
Shortened.
has shortened, and I don't require a ton of resources.
Yes. A girlfriend of mine just built her app. She had all the ideas. She put it into ChatGPT and it spit it out for her, and the lesson plans that she wants from it. And you can also build websites this way as well, right?
You can go to lovable.com. There's so many places where you can say, build me a website that does this, that does scheduling, that does, I'm a hairdresser, build me a website that has a scheduling part to it. Here are the things that I offer, here are my pricing. It democratizes access.
Mm.
You have the access at your fingertips. What are you going to do with it? You could be creative in ways you've never thought of.
Wow. Wow. That makes there is an ease I feel that I did not feel before about this. Um, I wasn't fearful of it, but I wasn't welcoming. Now I
I
can
say, think
see
of
it.
it as your teammate or your collaborator, not your
Mhm.
competition.
Mhm.
It's a tool.
Mhm.
I wrote an article once about how if you ever watch Serena play or any amazing tennis player, that tennis racket becomes an extension of who she is. It's
Mhm.
like you can't tell where her arm starts. Like they become one. But in essence, that tennis racket is a tool. AI is a tool, but if it's honed correctly, it can become an extension of your capabilities.
Mm. Mm-mm. So where do I start I'm a novice. Where do I start to do I go to Chat GPT and ask questions and then that guides me?
You
What
could even say to ChatGPT, give me a lesson plan for learning AI 101.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Starting with language, the basic language, LLM, hallucination,
Ah,
RAG, prompt engineer prompts. What are prompts? Prompt templates, prompt engineering. The basic language to this world, because you want to be able to, make sure you're honing the right language so that you can interact with it in the right
yes.
way. There's so many. I did like a search on YouTube, like show me videos of AI 101. And the videos came up. And I just looked at who was had the highest likes or, And because what I was trying to do is write curriculum for this other workshop I had to do for AI one, because I know when I talk about AI, it's from a different lens because I work in it all day.
Yes.
But I had to remember, how do I bring it down to a level, democratize it in a way that's understandable, make it accessible. So I was like, I want to see what a video introduction AI 101 would look like. Found a ton of videos out there.
Mm.
Great lessons, like one, and it helped me slow down my thought process so I can meet people where they're at and bring them to where they should go.
Ah, okay. All right. All right. I love that. I love that. Um, that makes it there's an ease in that so that I can be we can I can become it can become a friend of mine
It's yes.
as opposed to where do you see us going with
I mean,
AI?
golly,
It's exciting,
that's the
isn't it?
thing. I was talking to my manager the other day and we were trying to solve for a solution on our team. I said, here's the thing. We should build an agent to do this that will think of solutions that we are not even capable of thinking of. So when you say, where's it going? I don't even know that I am capable to think about the possibilities. Sometimes I just think I need to go back and watch the Jetsons.
Oh, I know. Yes. Yes. For those of you who don't know the Jetsons, it was an animated sci-fi futuristic show. You got to look up the Jetsons. It's on YouTube. You can find, and now it makes so much sense. It's like, who was it with the watch?
I don't remember their names,
Tracy,
but
Dick Tracy.
I remember the
Okay.
robot's name was Alice, I think.
Yes, Alice.
But I'm just like, what was this creator thinking? Like
Right.
we're there. And I think we have to approach it with a beginner's mind and really question everything we believe to be true and really think about how can I do this differently? Because if I go back to the banking analogy, I'm sure we never thought I would just be banking on my phone. On my phone.
Yeah.
I use my phone to do everything else but talk on it. Right. So we really have to disrupt our thought process and how things are done and really try to think, how could we do this differently? How could it be done differently? And thinking at the same time of what we don't want technology doing.
Like,
I had to think about, for me personally, I mean, I know somebody was like, there was a prototype of a Black woman who was creating a robot to braid hair.
oh yeah, I saw that. I no.
I was like, I don't think I'm there yet.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm there yet. Not to say I never would, right? But there's certain things where I want that more human connection.
That's the main thing that I am concerned about, especially, as we're calling up, we've got an issue with our credit card or whatever, and we're going through all of these. Well, tell me what you need. I can handle full sentences. And I'm like, I want a human being. Okay, but why? I just want a human being. Just put a human being on the phone.
But it's so funny, Iona, because like when I don't even want to talk to anybody. I actually chat with an agent and I'll be like, hey, I saw this on my credit card. I go back and forth. They fixed it. We're done. Like never had to talk to anybody, didn't have to get put on hold. The whole thing happened in with the agent, talk to them, done.
Now, the agent is what you call the
Oh, it is like the chat bot.
okay, the chat bot is what you call
And
the
well,
agent.
yeah, and there's a technical difference between a chat bot and an agent. Agents have the capability to actually take actions. They
Mhm.
have the ability, it's almost as if you are dealing with a representative on the other end. But depending on how the software is built, some people an agent can be like, I can't do that. I'm going to get a person online for you. Like they will escalate it to a human, which we often refer to as keeping a human in the loop.
Mm, mm. Interesting.
But yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You know, my husband and I have gone to dinner many times and seen people on a date, but they're both in their phones. That is, I would say, that is one of the main things with social media, with technology, that does concern me that we lose our human connection.
It's so interesting because we had this conversation at the table the other day, my husband and our kids, and we were saying how it's rude. And my kids were like, if you're on a first date with somebody and they got to look at their phone, you don't need to call them again. So it's so interesting because the assumption is that youth almost feel like, oh, that's normalized that you stay. And they're like, absolutely not. It's absolutely not. They're like, so it was interesting to hear them say that. Um, I'm adamant about if we're out, the only reason I have my phone out is if my kids have to call me for something, right? But
Mhm.
if I if I have to feel like I have to check social media in between our conversation, like what is it
Right,
that you have to see?
right, right.
Do you have to see some influencer posted something like that? I would tell you to check yourself on that. Like there's
Yeah.
something, and we should not normalize that. But I really believe
No.
if technology is done right, if we do technology right, it should be creating more space for us to have more time to connect with each other.
If there were more people, and no, 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 don't let me say that. More people. If okay, in this way, if more of us would avail ourselves to have a conversation like I'm having with you right now, to hear the democratization, which is wow, I never even thought of that, which is really leveling the playing field in life. Um, that this is a tool, this is an extension of what we're doing. I think we would all handle it differently. I think we would
I
see
want
it
more of our
differently.
community to lean in on this so we can be
Yes.
creators of this technology. Because if we don't, other people are like, we already know other cultures can come in and take our music, our sound, appropriate it,
Yeah.
run with it. AI is only going to amplify that. And there's been use cases of that, right? There was this supermodel who was gorgeous. She had a Instagram profile, was getting booked, all these things. Turns out the supermodel is AI generated.
Mm.
So can I be mad at that? I don't know, whatever. I'm not in the model era to understand. But the challenge was the creator behind the supermodel was a white guy.
Right. Oh, yes. I remember this. Right.
That's just
Yes.
the beginning of it. That's just the
Yes.
beginning.
So we need to hold on to our culture and use our voices to put we're doing it more and more. From the way I grew up, there were not stories about Black people. And if there was a writer who had written a story, then oftentimes a film, then oftentimes the white co-star became the lead.
Mm.
So then it was not. I'm trying to remember one story in particular, but in any case, the general feeling is that. And I'm finding now there are more people they can use. We can use our phones now. We can learn so much to create content, like you are saying. Now it's the 30-second, 25-second, 45-second little snippets of series that are on our phone so you can see those and what we can create and stories just about us that we can put out
And
there and do that.
absolutely. And I think my daughter and I had a conversation with the family too that she was like, I feel like if somebody uses AI to create music like through prompts, that is not the same as somebody who is in a studio with the instruments, feeling the instruments, and they create the music and I said, well, there's an argument that can be said. Now they have access to be able to have a creative outlet to try to create music. They still have to synthesize it. They have to give it the right prompts. They have to, just because what is brought back to them may not be finalized, they have to go back. Okay, add a little bit more of this to the sound. Da, 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 da. She's like, well, that's artificially generated music versus someone. And it's going to be interesting to see how this plays because there's already many AI artists out there. Just like the AI model, there's AI artists, AI music artists out there. There are films that have been completely generated by AI, which I can always, in my mind, tell, right? Like it's not there yet. Maybe one day it will be. We'll see. But I still don't feel like it will fully replace
It's
the human aspect.
do you want to hear the hear the song on a CD, or do you want to hear it on the album so you still get to
Right,
hear the little
right, right.
crinkles in there and all that, and I think that's, I like what you said about it not replacing. There is an addition to, as long as it doesn't replace us. You know what? Interesting. You're making me think this is what we're all afraid of. It's going to replace me, as opposed to making it a friend, as opposed to learning more about it, so that we can still continue to thrive as
And we
humans.
have to
And
up
what we give,
level.
right, right, and what we give, so that it's just another addition to life, as opposed to a replacement for, because I know I'm not giving up the kisses to my husband for a robot.
And I'm sure he don't want to get no robot kisses
That's
for
right.
his wife.
That's right. That's right. Wow, that is, you really broke this down, so it's a lot more comfortable. What is it that you also do? Because I heard you mentioned hidden something charity that you were
Oh,
with.
hidden. Yeah, it's a nonprofit here in the Bay Area that
Mhm.
helps African American boys learn technology, learn entrepreneurship. But I work at a company called Salesforce, and I work with our forward deployed engineers, enabling them on our agentic, our AI solution for companies. So we're kind of, we're figuring out how this AI works at an enterprise level. How people come up with these great pilots, but how do you take that pilot and scale it to the entire enterprise where they can get an ROI on their investment? What does that look like?
Can you explain
Return on
what you mean by an enterprise, a pilot?
And okay, so like I can come up with an AI solution. Maybe we say we're going to try AI just for our HR department in the benefits department. We're going to try this new AI workflow that automates things, like this agent that employees can ask questions to, but we're only going to try it, test it in a pilot, like for a small scale of
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm-hmm.
And then it turns out that the agent's working really well. They're like, okay, how do we take it from this small pilot where we might only have 80 users? And now we want to expand it to our entire organization where there's 10,000 users. What does that look like? What are the things that we have to do so that it scales properly, it's working properly, it's not hallucinating, making up answers, it's not slow in its response. So it's very different when you're in a sandbox, a little play box that a few only a few folks are in versus the entire company.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that. I
So,
agree with
yeah, my
you.
team helps to get our customers from pilot to production. But there's a big piece of it, as you said, Iona, it's a mindset change too. It isn't just a technology, it's a mindset change. You really have to think about changing the way we work, changing the way we show up, changing the way we navigate.
You've really helped me with what I'm going to think about with the podcast and what I'm doing with it, because I want it to grow and I want it to reach out. So I'm going to check with, let me see. Charles.
Are there agents that you could have running that run constant marketing material for you that are posting at a regular cadence? So you're not the one having to do it.
Oh God, girl, I so need to do that. Let's see. So
Oh,
I
they're
need to.
out there. There's all kind of services that do that, all kind of agents out there
Yes,
that do that.
that is what I've heard. I haven't looked into it because in my P mind and in
Don't say
my
Piedmont.
in my fear, and it was fear of that taking away something natural from me. I'm now understanding that I'm still giving it the information. It helps me to expand what I am doing. It helps to expand.
And then it
Oh,
could take the analytics and say, you could feed it the analytics of your show and say, where are you seeing the gaps? Who should I be marketing to? How do you
mhm.
see, is there a demographic that I'm not quite getting? How can I best reach those demographics? What is the best time that I should post for this demographic?
Mm. Those are all things I want to know. And
And do you want to sit up there be posting all the time versus
uh,
that's a task you can outsource and that frees up your time for some other things?
to maybe read a book.
Maybe read a book or give more kisses to your husband.
There you go. Ah, see, I like that woman. Leah, you are just a breath of fresh air. Your energy is a magnet. I'm so appreciative that you came today. I knew you would be the best first guest to get us going so
Let's
that
go.
because the future is happening and it's here. And we need to embrace it, especially those of us over a certain age who get stuck.
We're well seasoned women
Huh.
or men.
Well
We bring
seasoned.
a lot of knowledge.
I
How do
wouldn't
we
want.
automate all this beautiful knowledge that we've collected in our head to
That's
share
right.
with the world?
That's right. It will not go. It will. What is it that I want to say? Of there is so much more to life that this opens up for us.
It's amazing. And the possibilities are limitless. I mean, I'm just a geek. I like to get in the minutia, but I encourage everybody for 2026, find one AI skill that you will no, not one, because that's sandbagging it. One skill you will master each quarter, whether that is
Mhm.
I'm going to learn how to have AI build a website for me, or I'm going to play with, like I said, there's Lovable. There's also Sora, where you can build AI videos. There's also Gamma, where it will build a whole PowerPoint for you. You give it an outline and you say, give me a deck. I want once a quarter at minimum, folks need to go out there and learn some of these AI apps. And
Lovable.
once you learn them, there's Sora, Sora, and I work for none of these. So none of these are, these are just ones that I've worked with. Sora, Sora. There's also Gamma, Gamma, that generates PowerPoints or presentations for you. Lovable, which will generate an entire website.
Mm-hmm.
Had I known, I should have brought all the things. I also encourage people to listen to the AI Daily Brief. It's a podcast. It's called the
Okay.
AI Daily Brief. And then there's also one called the AI Podcast by NVIDIA.
Can you spell that by NVIDIA?
NVIDIA is oh my gosh, how am I not knowing NVIDIA? Let me give it to you.
Okay. Thank you. And I'm going to.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
NVIDIA, NVIDIA. It's
Cool.
called the AI podcast. And what you need to know about NVIDIA is the maker of the chips that all of the hardware that AI is running on, that these LLMs are running on.
Okay.
NVIDIA is the huge technology company that builds the hardware behind this large language model processing.
Fantastic. I'm going to check all this out myself, and I'm also going to post this, everyone. So if you didn't have a chance to grab your pen as quickly as I did, so that we have that information. Leah, you're just amazing. I'm so
Thank you.
appreciative that you came on here with us. And I want to put here where you guys can find this incredible woman on LinkedIn. She is with Salesforce, and Salesforce has a nice little blog about her.
Which I just learned about. I was like, I need to go learn about me from this blog.
But let me tell you, honey, that's why I was on. I was doing my googling. I'm like, I know
You were
I know
doing
what
the
she.
Google. You
I'm
were
like,
doing the Google.
I'm doing the Google, but now I'm going to go to Chat GPT. Charles George Taylor, Charlie
Or
George
whatever,
Taylor,
whatever you want to call it. GPT. Grace
GPT.
Paula Thompson, Grace, whoever you want it to be.
That's
But
right.
it's really, and it's also important to understand the magic of prompting, like giving the right prompts so you get the right answers from ChatGPT and not just blind. It's just there's so much. But you can easily go there and say, give me a lesson plan for learning AI 101. What should I do each quarter?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Veronica, for NVIDIA. Yes.
Thank you. This is just wonderful. You've said so much, but as I always ask everyone, before you depart from us, is there anything you would like to share that you have not said that you'd like to tell us at all?
No, I mean, outside of my motto, well, in for a lot of the youth that I talk to, I often say tomorrow's jobs belong to today's learners. So the key is stay curious. Stay curious. Keep learning. Keep learning. If we want to not be written out of this, we need to be a part of it. Particularly under this administration where they're getting rid of books and getting rid of these things, we need to be able to, how do we make sure our stories stay front and center, that we own the narrative, whether it's through different creative outlets, through these different AI generations, creating our own music through it, or creating our own songs or stories. But let's be a part of this technology transformation.
Thank you so much, my darling. I look forward to
Thank you for
seeing you
having
again.
me.
Absolutely. I've been wanting to get her on the show, and this is the best. So I can't wait till you're back in LA, and I can't wait till where I'm near where you reside.
Yay.
Love and light.
Love. Bye. Thank
Bye
you.
bye. Woo! Okay. Okay. Did I start your year off right? I know I did. Do you see all that? All of that information that we were just given so that we can be empowered. That's right, Veronica. Keep learning. That's right. And I see you got your hearts up there too. That's right. I'm like on fire right now. I feel so much better because I was feeling very intimidated by AI. I just had a girlfriend who did a workshop with AI, and she was telling me all of these fantastic things she was learning. And I was like, "Oh, well, send me the information and I'll check it out." And I haven't gotten it yet, so I'm gonna have to call her and find out where it is. But I got a whole bunch of new information. And new things can be scary, especially when they fall out of the realm of what we know, of what we understand, right? What Leah helped me see is that AI is a tool. I'm not the tool for AI. It doesn't run me. I can run it so that my podcast can grow, so that my creativity can grow, so that I can find a better way, a quicker way, and probably a more expansive way. Let me take probably out. A more expansive way to put my creativity out there. And that's why I wanted her here. But quite honestly, you guys, I did not know that that was the value that I was going to get. I knew she would explain things, but we got a bigger value so that we can go out and take ourselves to school. So let me tell you, let me just repeat. Leah mentioned Lovable, helps build websites. See, she mentioned Sora, Gamma, GAMMA, that can help build presentations. The AI Daily Brief, which is a podcast, she highly suggested us checking out. I'm definitely going to. The AI podcast, NVIDIA, and thank you very much, Veronica, for giving us the spelling of that as well. So I'm going to be checking all of this out because the future's happening, baby. It's going to happen with us or without us. So why not be a part of it? I find myself getting trapped in that rabbit hole. I get online, I see one thing that I like, and then all of a sudden I'm looking at a whole bunch of stuff, and 30 minutes have gone by in an hour. I'm especially into all of the recipes that are on Instagram. Oh my God, I've cooked so many great recipes. And then they're fun. The kid stuff, oh, so funny. And then the political stuff that comes. So I've got a gamut of things. And I look at that time always that I've given to someone else's dreams, while I could be spending time expanding on my own. Yeah, let's expand our dreams past what we see and what we know. Let's expand the visions of what we want for our lives or what we want to continue for our lives past what we know, what we can see. I would say that's the greatest bit of inspiration that I got from Leah tonight. Wow. I can be greater than I know if I take the time to check out these things, these gifts she's given to us to look into. I'm always excited to see you guys on Wednesdays for The Vision is Possible. Thank you so much. I'm not going to be here next Wednesday live, but I'm going to do a show with Stephen Adams, manager extraordinaire, who's been with us before several times. He's always a dynamite guest, and he always has some dynamite stuff to say and some knowledge to drop on us. He and I are going to get together. I'm hoping we stick with this weekend. We're going to do a show. I will have it go live, but I'm going to also record it, you guys, so that 6 o'clock next Wednesday, you still get a piece of me. You still get a big piece of The Vision is Possible. Just go to YouTube. And if I can't, unfortunately, put it up on Instagram, I'm going to try and put it up on Facebook and see what I can do. I'll go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT if how I can do it. Oh, I just thought about that. I'm like so excited right now to figure out more things of how to expand. So there will be a new show that you can watch, and then I'll be back in town and I'll have somebody else fabulous. So have a beautiful week, you guys. Stay loving and wonderful. Veronica, reach out to me. I'm going to give you guys my email, okay? My email is thevisionispossible@gmail.com. Anyone who wants to reach out to me, please do. And as a matter of fact, I keep nudging my camera here. Please reach out to me with guests you would like to see, topics that are interesting to you, because we're going to expand this puppy. I've already made my vision of what it's going to be this year. Veronica, I'd love to speak to you further. I may not get back to you for a week or two, but definitely let's talk about what you know about this of this information that I've just had our wonderful Leah on for. I love you all madly. Oh, before I go, oh yeah, me. How you find me? This is how you find me. And I will actually. Oh, I see. I don't have my um, email on there, so I'll put that on there for y'all, so you have that. Love you, love you, love you. This is where you can find the show. You are magic, honey. Remember, life is not magical. You got to put in the work. And just one more time, this is where you can find Leah McGowen-Hare. Check her out, LinkedIn, and also salesforce.com. It's a company you should know about anyway. Love you all. Have a beautiful week. I'll see you in 2 weeks, but I'll have a new show up for you next Wednesday. Stay in love and light, and take care of my friend, who is you. Ciao.